To everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. That despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere, people will wait in line to.
Rachel Zegler's career has recently found itself surrounded by intense public attention and controversy. According to circulating online discussions and unverified reports, Disney's live-action Snow White has faced significant challenges after release, including disappointing box office performance and reduced audience turnout in some regions. Some commentary even claims the film was quietly pulled from certain platforms, although this has not been officially confirmed. The situation reportedly began with early signs of weak theater attendance. In some locations, screenings were allegedly reduced or replaced as cinemas attempted to recover losses.
Those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood.
Viral clips of sparsely filled theaters further fueled online debates about the film's reception. Internationally, reactions varied. In certain markets, the film reportedly struggled to secure releases, while in others it faced strong competition from other titles, including unexpected box office performers from Disney's own catalog. Merchandise tied to the film is also said to have underperformed, with unsold stock reportedly lingering longer than expected in retail stores. This has added to wider discussions about the commercial outlook of recent live-action adaptations. The center of the conversation is Rachel Zegler, who has faced heightened scrutiny across social media.
To everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to.
Online debates, fan reactions, and industry speculation have all contributed to a highly charged narrative around her role in the project. However, much of this remains based on public perception rather than confirmed industry statements. Co-stars have also been drawn into the discussion. Gal Gadot, in interviews, has pointed more broadly to differences between audience expectations and studio direction, without directly assigning blame to any single individual. Overall, the situation reflects a broader conversation in Hollywood about the risks and reception of large-scale reboots, audience expectations, and how quickly public narratives can form around high-profile releases. Then came the moment that set social media ablaze. When asked about working alongside Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot offered a carefully measured response. "I'll talk about that when I feel comfortable." It was only a single sentence, but online it quickly spiraled into speculation. Many fans interpreted it as a subtle sign that tensions may have existed during filming, suggesting there were behind-the-scenes dynamics that had not been publicly addressed. Meanwhile, attention also turned to Andrew Burnap, whose presence during the film's promotional rollout appeared unusually limited. Observers noted his absence from several major premiere events, interviews, and press appearances, fueling further curiosity about what was happening off-camera. The situation became even more talked about after circulating reports claimed that Rachel had once commented on potential changes to Andrew's role during production. According to these accounts, she allegedly suggested that portions of his scenes could end up being cut. In the final version of the film, significant edits did appear to reduce his on-screen presence, further intensifying online discussion. While none of these claims have been officially confirmed, the combination of interviews, absences, and production rumors has kept the conversation alive, with fans continuing to debate what may have happened behind the scenes. Imagine dedicating months of work to a major Disney production, only to hear whispers that your co-star's performance might not even make it past the editing room. That kind of uncertainty, real or rumored, is enough to shake any set. As speculation spread online, attention turned toward Andrew Burnap, whose limited presence during promotional events only fueled further discussion about what may have been happening behind the scenes. Then came an even more surprising development. Disney's planned live-action Tangled seemingly disappeared from public release schedules without explanation. No trailer, no teaser rollout, no formal update, just silence. While the studio never confirmed any connection, the timing led to widespread online theories linking the decision to the fallout surrounding Snow White. Tangled remake had been widely rumored as the next major franchise project, with early industry chatter suggesting Rachel Zegler as a potential lead for Rapunzel. However, after the turbulent reception of Snow White, speculation grew that Disney was reconsidering any high-risk projects tied to already controversial public figures. What might once have been a flagship production now appeared, at least from the outside, to have been quietly shelved or delayed. Inside the industry narrative, this was interpreted by some observers as a strategic pullback, an effort to avoid another expensive release carrying heightened public scrutiny and unpredictable audience reaction. Meanwhile, the performance of Snow White itself became a focal point of discussion. Reports of low turnout and underwhelming audience engagement circulated widely online, with some viral clips showing noticeably empty theaters during screenings. Before release, Zegler had expressed strong confidence in the project's success, suggesting the film would attract large audiences and reintroduce the classic story for a new generation. However, as early reactions turned mixed and criticism intensified, the tone shifted dramatically. In response to the growing backlash, she shared an emotional moment on social media, which many viewers interpreted as a sign of the mounting pressure surrounding the film's reception. What had started as a high-profile reimagining of a beloved Disney classic ultimately became a deeply scrutinized release, surrounded by debate, disappointment, and ongoing controversy. It was the kind of moment every actor dreads, standing in front of a finished film that feels nothing like the celebration it was meant to be. Rachel Zegler arrived at a screening of Snow White holding flowers and smiling for the cameras, presenting the night like a victory lap. But the footage told a very different story. The auditorium was barely filled, with scattered viewers sitting in near silence across rows of empty seats. What should have looked like a red carpet triumph quickly transformed online into something else entirely. Social media users seized on the imagery, turning it into viral jokes and memes. Contrast between the glamorous presentation and the empty theater became the centerpiece of the conversation, and the moment spread rapidly across platforms as a symbol of disappointment rather than success. Financially, the film reportedly struggled to meet expectations despite a strong global marketing campaign. Early box office figures fell short of projections, and online ratings reflected a divided response from audiences and critics alike. Instead of being embraced as a bold reimagining of a classic story, the film became one of the most debated releases in recent Disney history. At the same time, a competing release, Minecraft, the movie, unexpectedly captured widespread audience attention. Simple, playful appeal drew large crowds, creating a striking contrast with Disney's high-budget live-action production, which struggled to maintain momentum in theaters. As public discussion intensified, attention shifted toward the cast. Andrew Burnap was notably absent from several major promotional events, fueling speculation about his reduced presence in the final cut. Meanwhile, rumors about on-set tensions circulated widely online, though none were officially confirmed. Another key figure, Gal Gadot, addressed questions about the production in a carefully neutral manner, offering no direct commentary on behind-the-scenes dynamics. Her measured responses were widely analyzed by fans, further feeding online speculation about the working environment during filming. Before release, Zegler had expressed strong confidence in the project, emphasizing its modern approach and its intent to reintroduce the classic story to new audiences. However, as reception turned more critical, those earlier statements were frequently resurfaced and reframed in online debates. Social media played a major role in shaping the narrative. Clips, interviews, and red carpet moments were widely circulated, often edited into memes that positioned Zegler at the center of the film's controversy. Over time, the discussion shifted from the movie itself to her public image, intensifying scrutiny on every appearance and statement. Inside the industry, the situation reportedly led to cautious reassessments of future casting decisions and project planning. Conversations around risk, audience perception, and franchise strategy became more prominent, especially regarding high-budget remakes. Behind the scenes, reports suggested that production challenges, editing decisions, and creative disagreements added further strain to an already high-pressure environment. Combined with the public reaction, the film ultimately became a widely discussed example of how quickly expectations in modern Hollywood can shift once a project is released into the public spotlight. Meanwhile, audience attention gradually shifted elsewhere. Familiar Disney properties such as Lilo and Stitch experienced renewed popularity, while other mainstream releases like Minecraft, the movie attracted large crowds with their simple entertainment-focused appeal. Contrast fueled online discussion about changing viewer preferences, with many arguing that audiences were increasingly drawn to straightforward, light-hearted films over modernized reinterpretations of classic stories. As time went on, the broader narrative surrounding Snow White became more defined through social media, commentary, and meme culture. Public conversation increasingly centered not just on the film itself, but on its perceived cultural and commercial impact. In this environment, Rachel Zegler found herself positioned at the heart of the discussion, as online debates linked her public image to the film's reception. Reports of underwhelming box office performance, mixed critical response, and limited audience enthusiasm contributed to a wider reassessment of the project within entertainment circles. At the same time, circulating claims suggested that Disney had reduced the film's visibility across certain platforms, though official details regarding distribution decisions remained limited. Industry observers began framing the situation as more than just a single film's performance. Instead, it became part of a larger conversation about risk management in Hollywood, especially when it comes to high-budget live-action adaptations of well-known animated classics. The discussion also extended to the cast. Andrew Burnap was frequently mentioned in online speculation due to his reduced presence during promotional activities, while Gal Gadot offered measured and diplomatic responses in interviews, avoiding direct commentary on behind-the-scenes dynamics. Beyond the film itself, the situation became a wider media phenomenon. Social platforms, entertainment commentators, and satirical shows all contributed to keeping the topic in circulation, turning it into a recurring reference point in pop culture discussions. From a business perspective, studios were reportedly more cautious about future high-profile remakes, reassessing casting strategies, budgets, and audience expectations in light of the film's reception. The situation became a reference example of how quickly public sentiment can influence entertainment decisions in the digital age. Ultimately, the Snow White project evolved into a broader case study in modern Hollywood, where marketing power, audience perception, and online narratives intersect in unpredictable ways. What began as a major studio release instead became a widely discussed example of how fragile success can be in an era shaped by instant feedback and viral commentary. For Zegler, the aftermath has meant continued public attention and scrutiny. Every new project, appearance, or interview is now viewed through the lens of this experience, as industry watchers and audiences observe how her career develops moving forward. Chapter is no longer just about one film, it has become part of a larger ongoing conversation about fame, failure, and the speed at which narratives form in modern entertainment.